In this video, I want to propose a further exercise on the techniques we have talked about throughout this series of videos, related to motion tracking and compositing a scene in Chroma key. We will not talk about the techniques we have already used in other videos, such as performing motion tracking and connecting the imported video to the 3D scene camera. But we focus on creating this scene, leaving to you the practice of completing the animation. The starting point is, as usual, the recording made in Chroma key. In this specific case, we also see that the lighting is exactly what I want to have in the final footage. So, one direct light illuminating the model from the front, and one light illuminating the set. Furthermore, I positioned this cube with markers because we need it as a reference for the sliding door in the final video. The peculiarity of these exercises is that I have created two sequences, one shot from behind and one frontal. This allows us to make two different cuts in the framing. So we will need to create two scenes in Blender with two different camera tracking in order to have the virtual camera in both shots. This will allow us, in the final video, to have two shots as seen here. I also took a side shot with a static camera. Here we can see the shot from behind. This allows for greater variability in the final video. For both scenes, you need to start as usual with the camera tracking of the video sequence. Once the camera tracking has been done as usual, we add the video plane inside the scene and connect it to the camera. But as I mentioned before, we have explained this in several other videos, so you can refer to the playlist for all the details on how to make this step. Here on the left, we can see the setting that I have created, which is very simple. Basically, we have a room with walls with a simple brick texture. We then have the 3D model of this monster, which was downloaded from Mixamo. The animation is a slight oscillating movement of the body. Subsequently, I added the animation of the moving door, synchronized with the video, when the girl presses the button to open the door. The peculiarity of the video is mainly given by the lighting, which, as you can see, is very dark and contrasted. So let's look at the lights I used. The first one, this one, corresponds exactly to the light we see here on the set and serves as a backlight. The virtual position of this light is important because it must more or less correspond to the one we have placed in the set, in order to illuminate the 3D scene as in the real video. I then added a light point on the left, which is this one, which simply serves to brighten up the side wall a bit. Furthermore, I added this light position behind the monster, which serves to illuminate the scene from behind, giving the effect of very contrasted lighting and to highlight the silhouette of the monster in the background. For the final light, I used this one, which actually isn't used to illuminate the room, but only to light up the video set. In fact, if we render the scene, we see that if I turn off this light, the video appears dark, while by activating it, we can manage the video lighting in Chroma key in a precise way. But the most interesting effect is given by this fog that we can see here, which creates the atmosphere of the entire setting. To create this effect, I added some cubes inside the scene. These cubes have a volumetric material, the purpose of which is to absorb light as a real fog would in reality. In fact, if we look at the material, we can see that it is composed of a volumetric material, of which we can vary parameters such as density and anisotropy in order to obtain the desired density. And this is indeed the final result. And this is the scene from the second clip. The room and lighting are similar to the previous scene, but this time I naturally used the second video shot. So I carried out the usual scene camera tracking, and then I inserted the video in Chroma key, connecting it as usual to the video camera. And this is the final result. You can then use the two videos available here to also carry out a test yourselves and create a scene like the one in the example shown.